The budget city car category has always been a hotspot in the local car industry, and of course, Kia wants a piece of that action. Slotting in between the smaller Picanto and the larger Rio, we have here the Kia Soluto EX. Can the Soluto EX deliver a better value proposition than the other budget city cars out there? It's time for us to find out. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Reagan and welcome back to another car review. If you're new to my channel, I hope you click that subscribe button and become part of the Reagan's Rides family. If you're my subscriber already, thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Also, special thanks to Kia Philippines for lending us the Kia Soluto EX for the weekend to really test it out. If you have any inquiries for any Kia vehicle, you may visit any one of their dealerships nationwide and make your inquiry. The Kia Soluto EX is an affordable car for the first-time car buyer. It's a solid option for those who prefer a sedan body style versus the usual hatchbacks that are normally found at this price segment. It shares the same platform with its cousin, the Hyundai Reina, and it's also sourced from the Middle Kingdom. That's China, by the way, in case you are geographically challenged. Now, this top-spec Kia Soluto EX I have here has a retail price of 755,000 Philippine pesos, which severely undercuts the other mainstay budget city cars in the market, like the Mitsubishi Mirage and the Toyota Vios. But does a lower price mean lesser features? Now, that's what we're here to check out. Now, the Kia Soluto might be a small car, but its front fascia sure means business. What we have here is the same design theme that can be found in the larger Forte and even the Kia Stinger, with its slim tiger nose front grille here. That is a technicality, guys. It's not really a front grille because there's no holes here. Rather, it's more of a design piece, but it still looks good, guys. Now, since this is a budget city car, we only get halogen headlights here and a pair of halogen fog lights, which based on the position makes it look like an aftermarket addition. Still, overall, guys, it's a nice clean look and it doesn't scream budget in any way. The side profile of the Kia Soluto EX is a typical 3-box setup. Honestly, it kind of looks similar to the silhouette of a Toyota Vios or a Mitsubishi Mirage G4, which means that there's not really much to talk about here. The top-spec Soluto EX gets 14-inch alloys and it's wrapped in 70 series tires. The brakes behind these wheels are also budget meal. We get ventilated discs up front and also just rear drum brakes at the back. The suspension is also similarly a budget meal, a MacPherson setup in the front, rear torsion beams at the back. Now the ground clearance stands at 150 millimeters, which is pretty average for a budget city car. Now the rear end of this Kia Soluto is one of the plainest looking rear ends that I've seen in the budget city car segment. That's actually saying a lot. When you get it in this white color, it just becomes plain vanilla. Now it does get regular taillights here that doesn't seem to have too much effort when it comes to its design. However, we do have a hint of a ducktail spoiler here up top, which adds a little bit of sportiness. Now when you want to pop open the trunk, you don't get any trunk buttons here or openers. Rather, you still have to go through the traditional Tito of Manila way, which is to pop it open from the inside or to use your key. Now this is not a key fob, this is a regular key, and you just put it here and pop open the trunk. Now once the trunk's open, you'll see that you have one of the larger cargo capacities in the budget city car segment. We have 475 liters here, which is good enough for a medium-sized luggage and a second one beside it, plus some other smaller stuff on the sides. Now, the seat back of the second row seats don't fold flat though, so that might pose a bit of a challenge if you're transporting larger or taller stuff. Now, the Kia Soluto EX comes equipped with a 1.4-liter 4-cylinder gas engine that can put out 93 horses and 132 Newton meters of torque. Now considering the size and the price of this car, that's actually a pretty decently spec'd engine. Now the power is sent to the front wheels via a 4-speed automatic in this case, but a 5-speed manual is also available in other variants. Now during the weekend that I've had it with me, I managed to do 16 kilometers per liter on a highway run and only around 8 kilometers per liter around the city. But that's mainly because, guys, that I don't really do fuel economy runs, so a more sensible driver than myself would probably get a much better fuel consumption figure. The Kia Soluto's cabin is well equipped in areas that matter the most, especially for first-time car buyers that are millennials or members of the Gen Z crowd. We get nice leatherette upholstery here for your seats. These are really nice to look at and are easier to maintain, guys, but it could get a bit hot when you park it out in the open sun. Now the steering wheel and the shift knob are also wrapped in leather, and we get our usual hands-free buttons here for connectivity, but we don't get any cruise control. Now the wheel also just adjusts for, hold on, doesn't want to move. There you go. Adjust for tilt, guys, but it doesn't telescope. So that's a bit expected, of course, because this is still the budget city car category. Now when you look at your instrument gauge cluster here, we have the usual analog setup. You have a tach and a speedo and a tiny multi-information display in the middle, which shows you your car's vital information. And I was pleasantly surprised, guys, that we still have an engine temperature here. So thank goodness Kia still thinks that that is important in their budget city car. Now when you move over to the infotainment system, the screen here is pretty much average for the budget city car segment. We have a 7-inch touchscreen here, but this infotainment system gets Apple Carplay and Android Auto, which are features which normally you don't find in the budget city car segment. So we also get a reverse camera here, and the reverse camera also comes equipped with, well, rear parking sensors. So guys, that is how you win over first-time car buyers. Low price and a good amount of tech. Now the rest of the cabin is pretty much standard fare for a budget city car. We have manual climate controls here, but a little bit of a quirk. We have the power window controls right here in the center, which takes a little bit of getting used to. Even if I've spent like a weekend with this car, I am still not used to this. Whenever I need to open my windows, I find my left hand struggling to find the power window switch here on the left side, but it's apparently here in the right. I guess I'm not that cultured enough. Now we have the usual connections here. The USB port that connects to the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay can also be found here in the center. Now we also have a regular handbrake here and a couple of cup holders which we will subject to our clean canteen tests. Now the cup holder in the front fails. It fits but it doesn't go all the way in. But the one in front is a complete pass. So this accommodates my clean canteen. So that is a pass, guys. So when you look at the entire cabin area of the Kia Soluto EX, we're surrounded by hard plastics here. Pretty much expected in the budget city car category. But this tester unit already has over 18,000 kilometers on the clock, but I've not heard any creaks or annoying noises inside the cabin, so that is also quite a good thing. Now for a budget city car, well, the back seat is pretty much standard. It's quite average, guys. This is my driving position. I'm 5'6", and as you can see, I have around 5 inches of knee room and a good 4 inches of headroom. It's decent, but really, guys, nothing to write home about. The same can be said for the toys here at the back. Since this is still a budget offering, there are absolutely zero toys here. We don't get a center armrest, we don't get a rear AC vents, we don't even have any USB charging ports or even a 12-volt outlet, but we do have a large cup holder right there in the center. Now, since this is a city car, let's go take this baby out for a quick spin around the city. Alright guys, so we're now driving the Kia Soluto EX, and right off the bat I could tell you that even if this is a small city car, the visibility is pretty fantastic. Because of its traditional sedan styling or design, we've got a good forward visibility up front because of a pretty large windshield, and we also have a decent level of visibility on the sides. My blind spots are all minimized here, mainly because of these large windows and the large windshield, and that would be a big help, especially for the first-time drivers out there. The cabin is also quite comfortable. We've got a nice and cold air conditioning system here, which should keep, well, our tropical heat at bay. Now, we also have a good amount of NVH here. It's pretty expected from, well, a budget city car, because the NVH levels are decent when you're traveling at low city speeds, but when you go up to the highway and you go at 80 kilometers per hour or higher, well, then the cabin lets in a lot of the tire noise and the highway noise outside. That's, well, pretty much expected from a budget city car offering, so the Kia Soluto actually just delivers as well in that aspect. The steering feel of the Soluto EX is also nicely weighted, quite surprising for a budget city car, although there is a bit of a dead spot found in the center of your steering. Having said that, guys, well, the steering ratio isn't really as sharp as what you'd expect from higher offerings, but as a regular budget city commuter, well, this thing is perfectly decent. Although, yeah, I still couldn't get over that dead spot in the middle of the steering. See? I'm moving it, but it's not really moving at all. Now, accelerating on this road, we can feel that the 4-speed automatic is quite eager to downshift when needed. When you step on the pedal, it downshifts quite well, and that gives you a little bit more grunt. Now, taking this turn here, we could feel that, yeah, this is not going to be a canyon carver, guys. This thing is very, very twitchy. However, the ride quality is quite good. You see, I'm going through this road construction here, and the imperfections are not being transmitted inside. That's actually saying a lot, guys, because this is still a budget offering, and yet it's delivering a decent level of suspension handling and NVH. However, well, yeah, you go up to 80 kilometers per hour or more, then you get a lot of highway noise coming into the cabin, something that is quite expected from these kinds of cars. Now, this tester unit already has over 18,000 kilometers on the clock, but surprisingly, well, the suspension is still pretty solid. I'm going through some bumps and some potholes here, but it doesn't transmit into the cabin. Now, having said that, guys, if you keep your speed below 80 kilometers per hour, well, the NVH levels of the Soluto is quite decent. However, when you go up to 80 kilometers per hour, like what I am trying to do now on this road, still losing its breath on the top end, yeah. So at this level, you could hear a lot of the wind noise and the highway noise coming into the cabin, which tells you that the insulation for NVH of the Soluto is still low rent. It's still a budget meal, guys. But if you're just going to keep it to within the city and within sensible speed limits, well, the Soluto is a perfectly decent daily commuter. Overall, guys, well, the Kia Soluto is a decent daily commuter that offers you a solid level of tech features and creature comfort inside the cabin that makes for a really nice and relaxing drive. Don't expect to make this thing into a speed demon or a canyon carver, because it's not going to do both things. But as a daily commuter, well, it truly delivers the goods. The Kia Soluto EX offers a compelling option in the budget city car segment, mainly because it ticks all the right boxes that most value car buyers would appreciate. For its price, you're getting a solid level of tech and features as well as a comfortable and dependable drive. Now for a daily driven city car, that's probably what matters the most. Anyway, thanks for watching.